Tahoe LT with the 5.3. I wanted to let you guys see how I do this, so let's unbox it and see what we got. Alright, so this right here one is a $30 oil catch can that I got off of Amazon. Nothing too fancy, basic oil catch can. This one came with the quick connects already installed, so that's what I like about it. And so it comes with the oil catch can. You get the two hoses already set up and ready to be connected up, again with the quick connects on there. It has a vent, and but we won't be using that. And the bracket up in here, I don't think will really do us much good. We'll see. We may have to make our own bracket, but that's no big deal. But I'm going to walk you through how all this goes. So one of the first things we want to try to determine before even installing it is, where do we want to install it? What location-wise? I know some people have been using this over here on the master cylinder to use that as the mounting point. That is one place. I believe some you go down here into the tray area, the secondary battery tray area, and mount it in there. Some may use this location over up in here to run a bracket up under here to mount it right up into this area. Ultimately, I have these hoses. I like the fact that they aren't permanently on there. You see they have the worm style clamps on the ends of these. So one of the good things about that is that if I have to use a longer hose, I can easily just pick some up from the automotive store and use these connections. But I would like to just use what I have, so I want to try to find something that's going to allow for me to connect this up while at the same time reaching the oil catch can where I put it at. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is remove this right here. I'm not sure the proper name of it. I guess I kind of call it the pre-air box because your air box is over here. So we just need to remove it from the throttle body. So it's a 8mm. You can use a flathead screwdriver, or you can just use an 8mm wrench or socket, that is. And also you need to do you can see that over here. You also need to do the one over here as well. You can see that one. You want to do the 8mm or the flathead right here. You want to disconnect it over here. And let me get this all back set up over here. All right. And we also want to disconnect, let's see here, make sure we can see that, you guys can see that. We want to disconnect this one over here, and we also want to disconnect the one over here as well. They're pretty straightforward. You kind of just push up from the bottom. Just see that the gray part, just push it up from the bottom and then just pull it on out like that. So you want to do that for both sides to disconnect them, and do the worm clamp here and do the worm clamp over here on the air box as well. Once we have that, we should be able to take this on off now at this point. There we go. All disconnected and removing it on out of here. So I can see this is your throttle body, right? And if you look down in here, hiding behind this particular wire harness, you see that right there? That is what you're going to want to remove. So when this is off of here, the end connection the inlet onto your oil catch can will go here, and the outlet side will go on this side over here. Let's see if you can see that. So you see I'm on the driver's side. Move this out of the way for you guys. And you see that one? This is the other end of that one we were just looking at. All right. Now they are a pain to remove, but it works the same way as these. You push up, and I'll show you. So when you push up, you see how that moves. So that's all you're doing. You're just aligning those holes to be able to take the holes off. But getting your finger in there can be tight. I'll admit that I've already gone through and did all the hard work of getting it off. So once you push it in, you pull it up and take it off, and you will do the same. So you see that's it right here, and you see the nub down here. You see that? That's where the new hose is going to go on right here. This is the old hose. And now we're going to go to the other end of that hose. And it's, get you out of the way, is right here. And you will do the same thing. Get in there with your finger underneath. Press on it. The cool thing about disconnecting the front end first, you can turn it, the hose, to get better access to the one on this end. And there we go. And now we'll take this hose out. Here it comes. And there's the factory hose. And as you can see, that's what you were pushing on there. All right, so what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna go ahead and hook up my hoses up to the catch can. As you can see on here, let's see if you can see that, there's an O-ring down on the end of these to help make sure this is a closed system, so we don't have any air leaks going on. I'm gonna go ahead and put the short side on my inlet. So I'll screw that on in. And got my 3/4 wrench. And I'll go ahead and tighten that up. And then I'm going to put the long hose on the outside. I'm just guesstimating right now because I'm seeing that I'm going to need to make a bracket, but I'm not really sure where, and I don't want to have to change out the hoses. So I'm going to put this on, connect everything up, and see where does this actually sit at, and let that help determine where I need to mount this after everything's hooked up. Okay, so we're all hooked up from that standpoint. So now the way this all works is that, here, let me give you guys a better view, okay? So this is where the fumes are going to come out from down here, from this point. They're going to go out, the fumes will come out and go to the inside, to the end line on your catch can. The theory is that the oil drops down in here and the fumes goes on out and come out through the outside here, and it's going to go back into there to dump the fumes back in there, burn it on off. So that's how it should work. So let's go ahead and connect this up and see where we are at. So I'm going to run my long line right here down in, let me drop this down a little bit more. I'm going to fish it on through here. same way the original hose was up in there. And I'm gonna try to have it below any of my other hoses so it's not putting any weight, unnecessary weight on them. So there we go. And I'll set my, and let's see how this hose is kind of pointing upward. So I'm going to loosen up this screw here so I can rotate this hose downward. You see how it's kind of going upward in the air? All right, I'm back. Got my screwdriver just to be able to loosen that up a bit, to allow for me to be able to rotate this downward. Now I'll tighten it back up. Now I'm going to take the short hose and I'm going to fish it through and connect it to this side over here. Listen for the click. I'm not sure if you heard it, but that's it clicking in the in. And now we're going to connect it over here on this side. There we go. Did you hear that click? Then I pull away from it just to make sure that it is seated on there properly. So it seems to have locked in place. So right now it's all set up, it's all hooked up. So it's a system all ready to go. But we still need to mount it someplace. So we need to find out where we want to mount this puppy. All right, so based off of the length of hose that was provided with the kit, it kind of falls into this area here, not really around anything. Now, a smart person would just go ahead and cut some longer hose, reuse the fittings, and set it someplace off. But one of the things I don't like, see, it's over here. I got big hands, not meaty hands, but big hands. And so being able to get in there and turn that cup off to dump it would be kind of difficult over here. Right here, you know, you got your steering shaft going on, you got to get to your oil right here, you're going to be pouring oil in, you know, so it's a lot going on there. Lengthwise it could be over here, but just the same, now I got to do a left-handed thing to take it off. I guess I could come around from this way to get it off, but I kind of actually like it just right here in this section. So I'm thinking if I do a bracket either from, let's see here, from here, just find a good point, maybe one of these points here, even possibly this one, just to have a bracket come out, to have it right there wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I want to put the plastic air box back up in here just to see realistically will I still have good access to it. So let's do that first, okay? All right, so I went on and I didn't connect everything up, but just put it up in there just to see where does that fall in comparison, you know, as far as like this part right here, will it be block me off from here? But no, this is still right out here. So if it's right here, I got quick, easy access. My hands can get up in there and easily just rotate this off to be able to take that out and to lower it down to be able to dump that off. I like that. I'm really jazzed about this location. So I'm going to make a quick run to Menards and pick up a metal bracket. I may have to trim it down some and bend it, but I think that'll work out. I may get a couple of them in case I make a mistake along the way, but that'll help me determine if I want to come from this point, you know, up underneath, of course, over to here. You got to be something that's pretty rigid, or from over here at this point to hold it up here. Lining up wise, it would be pretty cool because it'll come right off here and come right back here to this handle right back here on it. So that would line it up wise. The same from here too, though. I can have a little like L shape with the bracket here and come off straight back here. And you know, I may even try to see if I have anything down here that I can connect up to just have a bracket come straight up to this point. But let's check it out and see. All right, so what I've done, I just took some zip ties right now just to keep this in a position about where I'm going to have it at. Again, this gives me nice access to the can without any type of obstructions. And so I went to the home, supply store and picked up this iron, angle iron right here. I went with the one with the 90-degree angle because I think it will just be a little bit more rigid as opposed to just a flat piece. Whereas over time with it, car bouncing and stuff, it'll bounce around and may start to bend or something like that. So I figured this right here will be good. And what I'm thinking about is drilling a hole in it and utilizing that, getting it right up in there, probably more like that, up in there. And then here, I'll come back here where you guys can see that. And then bring it over here. Get that up there. Have it, and then, so bring it from here, bring it on roughly into this area, cut it off around here, fasten this to this right here, and that way it will be right there. Oh, this right here wasn't black when I bought it. It was just your typical metal color. I primed and painted it black just so it will look somewhat natural up in here. Again, you guys can mount it wherever you will want to go. Of course, there's better, other areas, and many would probably argue it's much better locations, but this is where I'm going to mount mine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill a hole here. I'm going to take my angle iron and cut it off there. All right, what I'm going to try to see if I can take this bracket right here, take out these two Allen wrench bolts right there, take this bracket, flip it up so it's actually pointing up this way opposed to running down along the side of the body, and then attach it to the bracket that I just made. So I decided to change course. There's the hole down that I drilled on that end. So I ended up cutting this in with my angle grinder in there and then bending that 90 degree. That way it will go in here, come down here. I'll cut that end piece off over there, and I would use that 90 degree bend I have right there to drill the holes in there to attach it to the can. Pretty good. Can't complain. All right, so now what I will end up doing is attaching it directly to the can like that. All right, so now that it's connected up to the can, now over here, I need to take this bolt out right here and set the bracket in there. All right, guys, so it's all hooked up now. And in the end, I'm not really too jazzed about the bracket that I have here. You know, I could clean it up to make it look cosmetically better, but overall, I'm not liking it. It looks a bit crude in the end. So I'm probably just going to extend the hoses and mount it someplace a little further out of the way. But overall, I think that's I'm going to call it a wrap for today. If you like the video on how to actually hook up the oil catch can, not so much the bracket that you're going to use to mount it, please hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button, because I have YouTubes out there for other things I've done on my Tahoe, and also on my wife's Honda Odyssey, my Jeep Wrangler, and some of my other cars too as well. So please hit the subscribe button, and thanks for joining, guys. Bye-bye.